pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe we can skip number 1 on the agenda.
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay, number 2, consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Stillman. If you'll take a look at your board packet, board members, we have your minutes from July 18th, running from pages 3 to 19. Item B is extracurricular, special fundraising, and bus requests, and that is page 20 through 23C, and your new information would be 23A through 23C. Then in addition to that, payment of invoices will be on pages 24 through 53. And then there's only one budget supplement and transfer, and that's found on page 54. Back to B, item B, all of those items have been vetted by myself, Ms. Mitchell, or Mr. Stewart. Notice a couple of transfers in there, and we'll have a couple of those roll in until the school year begins. We're happy to answer any questions about anything on consent agenda, and at your leisure, as you look through, we're ready to answer any questions, but I do recommend the consent agenda as presented.
A, B, C, and D?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All those people that's requesting to be transferred, they know that as long as there's room, we don't have to provide another teacher for them, right?
Correct.
They
Yes.
understand that.
Yeah.
And
We
they're
always-
responsible for transportation.
Miss Bailey, Mr. Stewart works with each principal and keep close track on those numbers. That's a major point of whether we can allow the transfer or not. It's how many students are in the class and whether it meets those guidelines of not having to add another teacher, or sometimes maybe a service personnel, an aide, if it goes over a certain number in certain grades as well. So we try to keep a very close eye on that. Then we also look at some ratios as far as if the student has an IEP and so forth. If that puts that classroom or that school over a ratio, then it would be a little different. And we're upfront with the parents and let them know that. By the time they get to you, though, we have talked to the principal, Mr. Stewart or Ms. Bailey has talked to the principal and okayed it to make sure that we're in good standing.
Okay, recommendation been made by the superintendent. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion to accept?
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Do we have question or comment? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Ah,
No. Mr. Henry?
Thank you, Mr. Stillman.
Okay.
Appreciate that. We greatly appreciate that.
Okay, item number 3, consideration of the universal pre-K collaborative contract. That'd be Ms. Bailey.
Item number 3, Mr. Stiltner, we're proud of the work that Ms. Bailey does in conjunction with a whole staff of folks that work with we say the little ones around here. And as I've told you before, Ms. Bailey is the GOAT of the little world. She does a phenomenal job. She has built this program and continued to grow our young ones.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
the relationship that she has built with Mountain Heart has just been phenomenal. We couldn't ask for a better liaison between Wyoming County Schools and Mountain Heart and Ms. Bailey. She is constantly coming up with new ideas and ways to make our pre-K and our kindergarten and our early elementary world even better. We know the importance of a good, solid foundation of those first years in a kid's life can really set the tone of what their school career is going to be like. Ms. Bailey does an awesome job. So we'll have her present to you our contract, MOU that you have in front of you.
As you know, each year we have to review and amend our contract as needed with Mountain Heart Community Services. We do not have a contract with any daycare providers that are in our county. we have, reached out several times, but at this time, we still do not have a daycare that would like to partner with us. So it is strictly with our Head Start partner. I know that Ms. Lapardis had already given you a copy of this in your packet, but I ran these off only because I wanted to tab and highlight the changes that would be made this year. I thought it'd be easier to go through that with you. The major change that we have is, of course, financial, and it's mentioned on page 1. And this has to do with our collaborative classrooms that are in our schools. We are collaborative at Pineville Elementary, Road Branch, and Herman Consolidated. The state mandates that we are no less than 50% collaborative. And, of course, all of our classrooms at Mountain Park houses is a collaborative classroom. So we have 21 total. 17 of our 21 are collaborative. So we are currently at 81% is what we're at right now. And our goal was to be 100%. So, but this is strictly for, that change is strictly for our classrooms at Pineville, Herndon, and Road Branch. And this is just an addition of compensating them $500 for every 3-year-old child that falls under Head Start guidelines that has an IEP.
Is that completely different from last year?
Last year, we had $500 for every 4-year-old that was under Head Start guidelines, and then we wanted to phase in. The first year we did nothing. Then, last year we did our 4-year-olds. This year it's 3-year-olds with an IEP because we do get funding for those children, and we also get some additional funding through IDEA for those kids that have an IEP. Then, our other changes are on page 5, and it also correlates with page 8. And this is just that we sat down in the spring and aligned our calendars mutually to make sure that we had the exact same pre-K calendar no matter where the child was attending. One of the things, this came a lot from our community. When we would have, like if we would post and say no pre-K this day, or pre-K planning day, it was confusing because we say we're universal pre-K, and we tell our parents it's the same no matter where you are, but then we were having different calendars. So we decided to align our calendars, and that way it would allow the same days for professional development for our teachers, so we can share professional development. Our parents, it's easier for them to plan because they know if there's no school at Burla McKinney that day, then for pre-K, then there's no school for anyone, any of the pre-Ks. And so it just matched up better.
That's huge in a parent's world, and not having to think about and have the stress of child care and figuring out child care for one sibling and not the other. So that's a huge, huge deal.
And then too, like if let's say if we had a professional learning day, the schools that are, the Head Starts that are affiliated with the schools as far as getting their lunches and things, they would have to make alternate plans to prepare for breakfast and lunch those days. Yeah. And so it helped in so many aspects to align our calendars together. So that was, it took a lot of planning and time, but we think it's really going to be beneficial. Okay, our other change is on page 9. And I had previously spoken with Mr. Henry, Mr. Hilton, and Ms. Shoemate about this, and we would like to add 2-way radios in the Head Start classrooms that are adjacent or affiliated with our schools. So that would be Baileysville, Glenport, and Hanover. And the reason being is, in emergency situations, like if there was a lockdown or a soft lockdown, we've had times that has happened, and the schools did not have a way to contact the Head Start classrooms. One particular incident was at Huff Consolidated. There was a time that Mr. Endicott had to call a lockdown. He looked out and the children at the Head Start Center were outside on the playground.
Oh.
And he said he had no way to get in touch with them because they were outdoors. And so it just really, it brought a lot of things to light for us. And so one of the ways that we thought that we could keep that from happening again is to provide those two-way radios. And Mr. Hilton said that's a minimal cost, and he would be glad to take care of that for us.
That's a great idea.
Another good example of that was at Baileysville. This past year, we had some shots fired, and it was during hunting season. And we figured it was probably related to that, but with that being said, the school went on a soft lockdown. And at that time, that wasn't, the communication wasn't as solid as what we think it will be with this, and those kids were out playing. And luckily, it was an incident of someone hunting in the woods close by and so forth. But it's a great idea that the team had in helping with that communication.
And then our last change, again, goes back to that budget on page 11. That's just reiterating, how much we are going to pay Mountain Heart when they invoice us for the children that we have under Head Start guidelines. The amount will remain the same for the ones that are housed in their facilities, so that's $1,900 for every 4-year-old and a 3-year-old with an IEP, or $1,600 for the 4-year-olds, I'm sorry, $1,900 if they have an IEP, and then $500 per 4-year-old and $500 per 3-year-old with an IEP in the Wyoming County Schools buildings. Now, all of that money, of course, comes out of the state aid fund that we get per child, and we have to provide the state with a budget, a collaborative budget each year, and we have to show that every penny that is in the pre-K program remains in the pre-K program. And so this shows that every dime goes right back into the program again. Mountain Heart uses that money. They help to pay for their family service specialist that is for our schools. That helps to provide services. Sometimes they help us to get mental health services for the families. They can provide transportation. They help with dental visits if for some reason the parent cannot get to the dentist or if they do not have insurance. And we do have the mobile dentist that comes into the schools, but sometimes the kids are not there on those days, so we have to find alternate ways to get those kids taken care of. Whenever Mountain Heart does something for our classrooms that are housed within our schools, they don't just do it for the kids that are under Head Start guidelines. They provide for every child in that classroom. Last year, I'm sure you all may have seen on Facebook, but last year, my favorite thing was at Thanksgiving, they provided every family in those collaborative classrooms with a turkey, rolls, all the sides, a crock pot to fix it in. And so it wasn't just the kids that fell under those guidelines. Every child received something.
That's great. Going back to the IEPs, is there no stipulation on how many items are listed in the IEP, or just one thing?
As far as the exceptionality or the goals, or so it could be, it doesn't matter what the exceptionality is. So it would either be developmental delays.
Right.
We do have some with an autism
Okay.
exceptionality, or it could be speech.
Okay.
So
We're identifying more and more students every year that are entering either through Mountain Heart or through our pre-K classrooms at the age of 3. More and more every year, it seems, and that's a great thing. We're able to identify those kids through programs like Birth to 3, and then we have them in our system, and that relationship that you've built and fostered with Mountain Heart has been huge, and I would concur. That Thanksgiving event that they put on was amazing. It was awesome. I mean, to see families, you know, they didn't even think, that they didn't just think about the food, but they thought about a way to help the family prepare the food and buying a crock pot. I remember when they rolled up to maintenance and we were trying to find places to stuff those turkeys, for the next couple of days until they got, that's a good problem to have, really good problem. And identifying those kids, the earlier we can identify them, and the hopes by the time they've been able to participate at a 3-year-old level and a 4-year-old level, as they get on, we're hoping maybe some of that gap can be closed, for some of those students. So that relationship is huge. And thank you, Ms. Bailey. You've done a good job, a really stellar job of continuing to build that, foster that relationship.
We are seeing progress. You know, we do have a lot of 3-year-olds that are coming in with IEPs, but because they are getting 2 years of early intervention, a lot of those kids are able to exit services by the time they go to kindergarten.
Board members, we recommend this contract to you between Wyoming County Schools and Mountain Heart.
I like, before anything, I like to just commend Ms. Bailey on all your hard work on this. And I'm really impressed, always have been impressed with the collaboration between Wyoming County Schools and Mountain Heart. And I really am impressed with this mutual pre-K calendar.
Well, thank you.
It used to take us forever to get that thing took care of. Didn't get it this way now.
Not anymore. Bailey is all over it.
Good, great.
And I love that they reach out to her, because Miss Bailey really is an expert. She will brush it off at times, but she really is an expert at that age group, and she knows that age group really well. I mean, she was an amazing kindergarten teacher, but she has just evolved into building a great early pre-K program for us. So it's huge.
Okay, recommendation made by superintendent.
Motion approved.
Motion approved. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
5-0, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Gilpin. Thank
Thank
you, Ms.
you.
Bailey.
Okay, item number 4 on the agenda, consideration of memorandum of understanding with Concord University.
Next couple of items here, I'll defer to Ms. Lane, our Director of Personnel and Human Resources. If you'll look at your packets, pages 69 and 70 is our MOU with Concord University. I'll defer to Ms. Lane to walk you through this.
Good evening. So the memorandum of understanding with Concord, this is something that we do annually that allows us to accept student teachers in our county. It also allows for resident teachers that stay all year and kind of own a classroom. It's a lot longer assignment than regular student teaching, and then field placement as well. We also do our observations and allow their students to come in based off of this agreement. It's pretty standard agreement. It states what they will provide and what we will provide to those students that they send our way. We have a couple of other agreements that are very similar in the next couple of agenda items, but I was talking to Ms. Mitchell earlier, and I just wanted to pass this along to the board as well. This year, I think, is the highest year that I have seen, definitely the highest year that I've seen for quite some time that I have been at the central office, 8 or 9 years or so. This year we have placed 10 student teachers in Wyoming County Schools. So that is a tremendous number. Normally we have 2 or maybe 3. But this year, we have placements for 10 of those students. Some of those are already working for us and have been working on permit, will do their student teaching while they continue to serve in the classroom for us, while others are, doing student teaching to finish their bachelor's degree to graduate. So I was just very pleased with that number. It's a very high number. I'm thankful we have placements for those because there are some certain criteria that the host teacher has to have. So, and Ashley Francis works very closely with me and Ms. Mitchell to get those students in the right placements for the certifications, in which their degree is going to lead them to certification in. So, the first one there is Concord. If you all have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer those if I could.
Isn't there a stipend now for those teachers?
Yes, sir, there is. They have to have a specific training. It's, I don't think, a very lengthy training, but it is a very important training if they're going to be a host teacher and have a student teacher work under them throughout the school year. They are required to have a training now. Ashley Francis gets that scheduled, and once the assignment is complete and their student teacher has successfully completed the portion of the program, then that host teacher is paid a stipend.
These teachers you're talking about that we got signed, is this one we paid the $1,000 for their fees to go to school?
Are you talking about student teachers? Some of those we have provided a little bit of tuition reimbursement for because they have been employed, with us as, a service personnel because they're eligible for that tuition reimbursement as well. I would have to look down the list. I don't recall any specific that we have this year, but we do have quite a few that are nearing completion of their teacher certification, either bachelor's or master's. And we have helped, with those.
We paid a couple of them at a time.
Yes, yeah, we have helped with that tuition reimbursement up to $1,000 for any employee, as long as funds are available. We have funds that come from
Title II, and special education.
Yes, we have 3 funds that we pull those from depending on which employee requests the tuition reimbursement. We have quite a few people taking advantage of that.
Okay.
Board members, I recommend the memorandum of understanding with Concord University.
Okay. Recommendation been made, do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve. A second?
I'll second.
Second. Question or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Mr. Henry.
I didn't hear Mr.
Apologies.
No, I didn't.
There's still one there.
Mr. Lynch.
Who lost?
Who lost?
So that's 4-0.
He is. It's in Tennessee, I believe.
No, that's okay, we got you back on.
That's not right.
Oh, I see, I didn't read that on that. I gotcha, that makes sense.
Yes, I was.
Felt like my phone at home.
We didn't know what static, I was trying to figure out a way to get
Doesn't
that out of
rain. Every time it
there.
rains.
Maybe the phone line.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Just tell him that we voted on that 4-0 and he said we want to vote on it.
Mr. Lester,
Yes,
did you vote on the last, motion?
yes, I said I, and then it went off.
Okay. 5-0 then. We're right to start with. Okay, item number 5, consideration to fill a placement agreement with Grand Canyon University.
Thank you, Mr. Skelter. We'll refer to Ms. Lane again.
As you'll see, I'm sure that as you read through those, you saw a lot of similarities between this and the agreement with Concord. They provide a lot more of their definitions and things like that on the Grand Canyon one. This year, we currently have 3 students through Grand Canyon that will be completing their student teaching. And those are the ones that are currently employed with us and working on permit to receive their masters. So we have 3 that are almost at the finish line. So this agreement here will allow them to do that student teaching while they're working in their own classroom as they have the last few years.
Okay, your recommendation, Mr. Henry?
Mr. Stovner, we recommend the consideration of field placement for Grand Canyon University.
Recommendation been made, do we have a motion?
I make the motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, second. Any, question or comments? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 I heard Mr. Lesher say aye.
Okay. Five,
Yes.
Thank
Five
you,
no,
Mr.
sir.
Stovner.
Okay. So we're on item number 6, consideration of letter agreement for licensure programs with Wyoming University. My goodness.
Board members, that's in your packet from pages 78 to 88. And again, I'll defer to Ms. Lane.
This one is a new one that we haven't had since my time in the personnel department with Walden University. We've had some students that have completed some observations, but nothing with student teaching or any kind of field placement through Walden University. So this is a new university name that we haven't seen in recent years, but we're glad to be working with them. One of our employees that currently subs for us is the one that will be doing the student teaching. So we're kind of growing our own in many of these situations. We have some that have started out as restricted subs as with an associate's or 60 hours of college credits, and they went into the classroom and fell in love with teaching and have went back to school. And now they are nearing completion of their student teaching and becoming certified teachers. So I'm very thankful to Wyoming County Schools for the opportunities that they provide for our people to get in the classrooms. And we've had quite a few that we have, kind of grown our own. And we have some this year that have moved from either teacher's aides into the classroom or other service personnel positions into the classroom. And I'm thankful for these partnerships with these colleges, and that the central office and board members have always been so open for us to give our people opportunities such as these to work in the classrooms and then fall in love with teaching. So that's what we like to see, and this is the classic case of that with the Walden. This particular employee has worked for us for some time as a substitute, and will very soon be certified teacher to work in our county. So we're very thankful for that. Very similar terms as the others. They are all pretty much the same. They're laid out a little bit different, but they all pretty much provide the same things and what we will provide and what they will provide in supports to their students while they're in our classrooms doing their student teaching programs.
Is this all online training?
Walden University has been online, yes, for this particular individual. She has completed that online. She did have a number of college hours inside the classroom at a university, but when she went back, from my understanding, everything that she's done thus far has been online. Some of the others, Grand Canyon, that one is an online university, and then our Concord, while we have some students that take online classes through there, all of the ones that we have, and I think it's five from Concord this year, have been students in the classroom on campus there at Concord, or are now going to come into our schools to do their student teaching.
Well, thank you for all you do to help these folks navigate this. Appreciate it. And what you do for all personnel.
Board members, we recommend this agreement for licensure program with Walden University.
Okay, recommendation been made, we have a motion.
I'll I'll make a motion to.
Motion made,
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any questions, comments? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Lane. I want to commend Angel on her, where there's a will, she's gonna find a way.
Well, there's a will, there's an angel.
Yeah. She will find a way, to work with schools to get someone certified. And how she keeps all that straight, I have no idea, but we're grateful that she does. And it's allowed us to have some wonderful people in our county and continue to keep them here. So thank you, Ms. Lane, for everything you do and finding ways even through online or in person. And boy, things have evolved over the years. I can remember when I first started taking my master's degree, you had to drive all the way to Charleston and take those classes at through Marshall University. And now schools really compete to find ways to fit around busy schedules. So it's a big deal to be able to do certain things. And Ms. Lane does a good job of managing that, as Ms. Hall was saying.
Okay. Item number 7, Wyoming County Board of Education members self-appraisal. Who's responsible for
Do we
that?
have hard copies on that?
We can get you one hard copy. I can give you
There
this.
should be, well, there was one in the packet, but she's gonna pull it up on the
You guys,
laptop
it's,
for you.
we have to have it digitally, so we can send it in, just like we did last year. So I'm gonna need, all of you, I'm gonna help you get logged into your email, so you can get the link.
We'll do about this.
It's been sent to him as well.
Can't do it.
Yep.
Did Mr.
We'll make sure we do.
Mr.
Yep.
Walker do this?
Yep.
He agreed to?
Board members will have to have this submitted by August 15th. But we thought a working session this evening would be helpful, and we got the tech guru here to help us out if we have any issues.
That's a good way to do it.
Yes.
Good thing she's hunting for, because I don't ever found it.
It's just the link's not working. Start with your name.
Leanne can find things and do things with technology that I'll have no idea ever how to do.
I'm thinking maybe 500 years down the road, you're gonna have fingers this long.
Is this supposed to be a keyboard come up here for me to do that?
As soon as you click, it'll pop up.
All right, all right.
Okay, and then you click, and your keyboard, start with your name, and then you just hit next from there on.
You enter her name there?
Thank you.
Trying.
It's a little slow, but it's
Yes,
dry.
very good.
Mr. Lester, if you have issues later on, just reach out to us and let us know, and we'll make sure we get you on the right path.
Okay, sure will.
You need need to start on this now?
Now, do we need to sign in with their,
Are you finished?
yeah, I came back to sign in for next. I saved the survey,
You saved it,
yes.
it should be done, but I'll double check.
Good to go.
It's not a race, Miss Hall, okay, all right, it's not a race to get done first.
Life's a competition, isn't it?
Always always that student in class that, I'm done first. So stay on.
But then watch the stuff from the others.
That's right, yeah. I read over it last night, I was kind of prepared.
Submit.
Yeah, go to the next, and it came up with save.
Submit.
Submit, yes, sir. And then save my responses.
Okay, so I've got Alan's and Doug's so far. So you did correct.
How about there?
Hey, nothing, that's what I got hung up on as well.
Okay, I got all three of those.
We're ready. Let's haul
You wanna
off
get
the
back
hook this time.
to your,
What you gotta do to sign in?
you don't have to do that, just click on the,
Next. Email.
get you back to your. You back on yours?
All right, man. So it needs to be submitted to the state board by 15th?
By the 15th.
Yeah, correct, okay.
We'll probably bring it back for consideration once, everybody is completed and get, the approval before we submit it on to the state.
Kind of a review, like we did last year.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
You're welcome.
It's easy for you, right, Ms. Hollins?
You could do one of them in a year.
Okay, we'll move right on to item number 8, the superintendent's update.
Thank you, Mr. Stiltner. We had I feel a really good 2 days of retreat at Glade Springs with board presidents. And one of the things that I heard on Saturday was the importance of a superintendent's update in one fashion or another. So we talked and we thought it would be a good idea for us to place this as a reoccurring item on our board agenda. So there may be some times that I have some presentations to give to you, maybe sometimes that Ms. Mitchell or Mr. Stewart has something, but it would be just a reoccurring time for us to be able to give you some handouts or some data that we want to review. I think our board has always done an outstanding job in reviewing data and being student focused. This will just give us a placeholder for that each meeting. So just a few brief things I have for you, just some reminders about our opening day at Wyoming East on August 19th. We have been meeting as a leadership team and a group to finalize some details. We have a phenomenal speaker that some of our team was able to hear previously earlier in the summer, and he'll be coming to Wyoming County. So we want to encourage you to come out and participate in that opening day at Wyoming East. We'll begin at 8:30 sharp. So doors will open at 7:30. Cooks there are going to sell cinnamon rolls. Also, there'll be a coffee vendor in the morning, and then Miss Mitchell and Amy Mitchell and several of our other staff members have worked to put together a really nice offering of lunch opportunities for our folks through some local food trucks that visit throughout Wyoming County and in the surrounding areas. So we have a really, really great day planned. And then after that, in the afternoon, after lunch, we'll have some school meetings there at Wyoming East, where each school breaks out into their own room and they're able to go through some trainings that we have to have. So we're really excited about that day. We're finalizing some details and we'll be ready to rock and roll for that day. Phenomenal speaker though. Our theme and our motto will be in line with what he speaks about, and that's hope. Instilling in hope with our students, with our teachers, with our employees, and building upon that throughout the year. So we want to encourage you to come out and participate. It's going to be a fun day. And then the 20th, we'll turn around and do our athletic coaches, assistant coaches, athletic directors training on the 20th at Westside. That will begin at 10 o'clock. McKinley has agreed to provide us lunch on that day, McKinley Architects. So they're going to work with us and provide lunch for our staff that day. So I want to invite you out to those two events.
Well, let me ask you this about the coaches.
Mhm.
Every coach that we employ, volunteer, regardless who it is, it's
Correct.
mandatory to be there.
Correct. Yes.
We're gonna film that.
Yes. Correct.
And that if someone misses, they're gonna be required to come in and sit
Correct.
through that meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Going to be some phenomenal information provided to
Speakers.
that. Speakers, myself, Ms. Mitchell, Mr. Stewart, Ms. Cook,
Hoppy gonna
Melinda, Tony Caridi will
be-
be
Tommy
there.
Creed,
Yeah.
okay.
Owen Schmidt will be there. Lieutenant Colonel Jason Lambert will be there. There's going to be a wide range of folks. So some good information. Chip Williams, attorney, and Austin Johnson, attorneys that represents us on Brim cases. They're going to be there and speak. It's going to be a really, really, really good 2 days.
We're looking
Really
at all
good 2
day.
days. Yeah. Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
Great. That's gonna eliminate a lot of problems we have with coaches.
We hope so. We
Yeah.
want to build their capacity.
Right.
Athletics plays a big role for our communities. It plays a big role for our kids. I've seen it save students and keep them in school. They're students first, always students first. But the role of that coach can be very impactful for a whole lifetime of our students. So we want to build on that capacity the best that we can. So 2 great days, really, really good days. August 19th, our speaker will be Brandon Fleming. If you can make it, please come. You're going to love Brandon Fleming. We had a call with him back last week, and it was great. He's going to be amazing. So come on out and join us those days. And then I'll refer to Ms. Mitchell and Mr. Stewart here to talk a little bit about anything they want to update on at this time.
I wanted to just share with you, probably noticed when you pulled in on the parking lot out there, the bus, we're starting our Stuff the Bus event on Friday. And that's gonna go through August 9th, and we've already got some things that have been donated on the bus, which is exciting. And what we're gonna do, we've had a lot of people reach out asking if they can do anything to help. And so we've got a lot of agencies that are wanting to bring things in to donate. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some of our volunteers that wanna come in, and after the 9th, we'll get this material dispersed out to the schools. And as always with Wyoming County Schools, there's not a student that should do without anything. That's our goal. Even without a Stuff the Bus campaign, we're gonna make sure that these kids get what they need. But we're excited. We had a lot of people offer this kind of supply drive, and then we decided to go ahead and make it happen. And this will give us more stuff for our kids out there in the schools. So we want to invite the public to come out. We'd like to see them take some pictures with the bus as they're dropping stuff off, and just kind of brag on their agencies too. If they donate to our kids, we want to give them some props on social media for doing that. So we appreciate anything that anybody wants to bring by. And if something happens that the bus is locked, usually we'll lock it every day at about 4, just to make sure everything stays safe. But if they come by, if they need to come by later, they can arrange it, and I'll make sure that we get that bus open for them to put stuff on. But we'll do this until tonight, and hopefully we'll gather up a lot of good things to help our kids out.
That's right.
Can I give you some stuff tonight?
Absolutely. Yes.
Is there any orange notebooks in that?
No. Don't shake loose or.
Ms. Mitchell? Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
By the way, if you people don't know it, today's your birthday.
There you go.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bless your heart, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
out there.
Yeah, we'll split that maybe. Yeah, Mr. Stiltner so graciously gave me a moon pie before the meeting started.
And a candle.
And a candle, yes, and I appreciate that very much, very kind. We did start, our summer professional development series last week, so I wanted to give everybody a copy of, the calendar of events. We do share this with our employees, regularly as things are either updated or rescheduled. And you'll notice that things that are kind of grayed out are events that have already taken place. And the upcoming events are left kind of unshaded, for lack of better words. We do have to work on rescheduling our Mastery Prep, the SAT Digital Suite. I'm sure you all saw on the news a couple of Fridays ago, the IT, I'm gonna call it disaster, that struck the globe. It definitely had an impact in the professional development world as well, as you have national trainers trying to fly in and out from various areas. And that particular session we had to reschedule. Others we were able to hold with the presenter participating via Teams or Zoom or whatever the case might be. We do start our Principals Academy tomorrow, so Tuesday and Wednesday. We would love to have you all come and join. Mr. Henry and I had a call, I believe it was last Thursday or Friday, with the facilitator of the 2-day training, and we were working through some of the logistics with the and you'll see, of course, it's facilitated by Instructional Empowerment. We're really excited about that training. We're going to be diving into kind of setting the stage for expectations for the coming year. So we're really pleased. And you'll see the training starts at 9 and runs through 3 o'clock. On Wednesday, we will, the central office, we'll be having a potluck lunch where we're treating the principals that day. So if you want to come and have a good lunch with us on Wednesday, we'd love to have you. But of course, you're welcome to come to the PD as well. That's really important. There's a variety of different sessions that's coming up over the coming weeks, including, I'm going to call it kind of a boot camp for cafeteria managers that Ms. Rhonda Thomas hosts. And then we have our deep dive into standards for ELA and math teachers. Each school was asked to develop a team of teachers to come and participate in this session. And then on the last page of the document, we have our rigor walk tools for instructional leaders. They'll kind of be working up to that over the next couple of days. And then on the 14th, August 14th, is when we will actually dive into what type of observation walkthrough tool will we have at our fingertips, and central office will be participating in that too. As Mr. Henry said, August 19th and 20th, August 19th targeting all employees, and August 20th, the coaches conference, which we're really excited about those events as well. There's a variety of PD that has gone on outside of Wyoming County, like a lot of your team members have attended PBIS trainings. There are CSI ATS trainings that are conducted by the department. We have had a wonderful delegation of administrators and teachers that participated in the department, the WVDE's Summer Invest Conference. But what you have in front of you is everything that has been facilitated or will be facilitated by Wyoming County Schools. So we've offered a lot of different sessions throughout the summer with a main focus on math. That is our new curriculum this year. So we want to make sure that our people have access to that material. Have any questions?
Sounds like you're busy.
It's
Always busy.
There have been lots of
Always
people in and out of the board office here the last couple of days with professional development trainings, and it's good to see teachers back and kind of a buzz for the school year. They're walking around and talking and participating in some really good professional development. So lots has already happened with PD this summer, but still some really great things in store for staff members. Thank you, Ms.
The
Mitchell.
instructional environment, gentleman that was so adamant to meet you there Saturday, I'm sure you got him lined out on that.
Well, there was a county, Wetzel County, he came by and asked some questions about instructional empowerment. I was able to talk to him a little bit as well on Saturday when I got there. It's a good conversation, really good conversation. We have a lot of, sorry, Ms. Hall.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna thank all three of you for the,
We have some really neat things going on maintenance-wise right now as well. A new sign at the CTC is in the works of being put in. New sign at Glen Fort is also in the works of being put in. Mr. Stewart has several painters spread throughout the county, and we have lots of painting projects going on. There's been some stuff over at the park that we've able to wrap up and complete. There's been some different projects that we've been able to cross off the list, and we'll continue to do that until summer is done. But it's a busy time to try to get as much as you possibly can get done in the summer before our main goal and our main thing comes in on August the 23rd when the kids arrive. So lots of good projects going on there from summer project wise as well.
So we're gonna be ready for opening day.
We are going to be ready. We are going to be ready and have an exciting day. It's going to be a lot of fun. This gentleman is a phenomenal speaker. I think if you're able to come, you'll really enjoy yourself. And that's for information only, Mr. Stilton.
Okay. All right. Consideration of personnel recommendation. Behavior's back there.
Board members, in your packet, pages 100 to 104, then I think Ms. Lane will also have a hard copy there for you.
I did not bring hard copies this evening, but I'd be happy to get one for anybody that may need it. Since it was sent out early this time, I typically don't make hard copies, but I would be happy to do so if needed.
Anything changed from your draft?
The changes, did they make it into the updated packet, Paula?
No.
They were emailed on Friday around 2 o'clock.
I'll give you this right here. That's the same one that Angel emailed us around 4.
There have been no changes since that last one was sent out. I was trying my best to get it to Paula to send out in the updated packet, and I was having trouble with the watermark where we had draft on there, and I had to get Leanne to help me get that taken care of.
Leanne saved the day again.
So she did. She always does, bless her heart. But since that was emailed out to you all on Friday, there have been no changes.
Board members, as you're ready, as you look through, we're always happy to answer any questions, but we recommend the personnel list as presented.
Before we vote on that, the couple of them are the resignation, our science teacher final middle school and the resource teacher model middle school.
Yes, sir. The first one under elementary, item B, that resignation, she has gained employment through WVU and their STEAM program, and she said it was a difficult decision, but we wish her much success in all of her future endeavors and the continuation of her teaching career. And then the other one on page 2, under special services, item A, that gentleman has had to move, his family and location wise he's accepted a position in Raleigh County.
Nothing negative.
Nothing negative at all from either one. Unfortunate for both, to lose both of those, but, they were assets to the school system.
Okay, recommendation been made, we have a motion.
I make a motion to accept the personnel list.
Motion been made, have a second.
Second.
Been made, second. Question or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Five votes, Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Stillner.
Thank you.
Ms. Lane.
Item number 10, items for further agendas and announcements. Do you have anything, Mr. Henry?
Mr. Stillner, I have nothing other than what I mentioned during, the update.
Anybody on board?
Have you found anything about the fire things?
I have not heard back from that group yet, at all. Somebody said there was something mentioned, Mr. Pritchard, on Friday in your president's retreat, meeting. Is that true?
I didn't hear anything.
They had talked a little bit about that, and that one part.
I feel like what we're doing here follows the advice that was given to us by, Trade Marone in one of those options.
I talked to
as
a
well.
preacher that's on the Board of Education for 38 years on the Board of Education. He said they're doing the same thing, we're just having it before service, before the meeting starts. There's two preachers on the Board of Education. I don't know yet which county they are. One of them's Doddridge County, up there where they got all that money. Gas money. And the other one, I ain't sure what county he's from, but
Send somebody our way.
you know, it's just, we shouldn't back down from it, whatever we do. Go as far as we can to get it approved. I've been talking to Chris Tony and, got a couple more, Adam, Lance, about bringing it back up when they
Yes.
got, get called back in.
I agree, Mr. Bridges. I agree.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Amen.
Board members, one thing I will add, I'm sorry, Mr. Stillner.
Okay, go right
I
ahead.
did, and I forgot to mention this in my update. I gave you a copy of two letters. One that will be sent home to families, to our families in Wyoming County, and then the other is one that will just be sent to our employees. So that'll be going out in the next, couple of days as well. We wanted you to have a copy of that.
Okay.
Other than that, I have no other items.
These them of Wyoming County schools that we have, do they have those that go into the windshield of your vehicle? Y'all have any of them?
No, but we probably know a guy that makes some.
That'd be good, I think it'd be something that the employees have, you know?
Yeah, be nice, be nice.
Okay. If there's nothing left on the agenda,
Anything you want to go on that legal advice, anything in it?
No, if you have any questions, I would be happy to try to walk through and answer any of those for you, but, not a terribly busy month with them. We've seen some more intense months of things, but you'll see in there a lot of wrapping up of certain, instances, there.
okay, the next board meeting will be Monday, August the 5th, at 6 o'clock here at the
Our first, celebrating success of the new year as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll have some celebrations that evening.
Really already?
Did you ever do anything with the Wyoming girls basketball team that anybody know, other than that dinner?
Not that I'm aware of.
Anybody?
Not that I'm aware of.
They had their ring ceremony scheduled, in August. I don't remember the date unless it got moved again.
Of course, we did our recognition here,
You're right.
with the board, but other than that, not that I'm aware of.
Last
I know
time
they've been
talked-
busy.
Last time I talked to that coach, he said they was waiting for Jeff to get back, and they wanna do it, but he said he'd be sure to let us know.
We can follow up and ask that. Mr. Simmons was at work today.
Yeah.
We actually went up and met with him today and had a great conversation with him and Ms. Walker, assistant principal there.
You know, since his boy got hurt on that motorcycle, there's been 4 people from Wyoming County. All 4 of them, one of them's in Bluefield, Mercer County, killed on a motorcycle in the last month. 2 from over at Huff Creek, one up on Coxton Road up there from Matheny, and one in Bluefield, that I know of. And you know how close that there could have been right there. All right.
Okay. Next board meeting will be Monday, August 5th at 6 p.m. Any other comments from the board? If not, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made to adjourn, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye.